I'm going to show you how to set up an IP camera. And I got a couple laptops set up here. And using a network switch is how I'm going to do this. Now, there's a couple different ways you can set these up. And I'm going to go over a couple of those and show you what I think is the most practical method. I'm not going to show anything about recording. I'm just going to keep it basic, how to connect it, and change the settings. And this is for a Clearview camera. Got a few of these to set up, and like I said, we're using a Netgear switch. It's ProSafe GS728TP, and it's a PoE switch. Ports 1 through 8 are 30 watt ports, and 9 through 24 are 15 watt ports. So the DVR for these Clearview, the DVR outputs, the NVR outputs are 15 watt outputs, so 15 watts should work pretty good. And here I got my tablet. This is what I'm using here. It's a Dell, I think it's a Dell Venue 11, and it's a tablet. It's got a USB output, and I use a USB adapter to Ethernet, and I'm going to try to get it connected up with that. And over here I have another laptop and some Ubiquiti NanoStation local M2 access points and a Netgear switch that I'm going to use for something else. But they're here and now, and I've got to set those up for another project. So you can look at that in another video if you're interested, and seeing how to set those up. Alright, so what we want to do after getting connected up there is get our camera out. And these cameras here only have the Ethernet in power, and these are also PoE cameras, so they'll work with the switch to provide the power to the camera over the Cat5 run. Now there's a couple different ways you could do this. You could just power this up with a power adapter and run this into a switch, just a small switch, and go straight in the computer. Some devices you could just run straight in the computer, I've seen. I'm not sure about this one. I haven't tested it like that. Well, I think I'm getting ahead. If you had you were using another power option, which is a PoE injector, and then you can run the LAN port to your computer and the PoE port to this. And you can look in your manual to find the IP address that you can access the camera on. For this particular camera, it's 192.168.1.108. So let me show you how to change it. Alright, so if you're on a Windows 10, I think this is 10, you can right click over here, go to Network Connections, change Adapter Options, close that out. Alright, so right click on your adapter. Oh, you know, something else I've noticed is kind of weird is actually works on this tablet is I've got this connection going to this Netgear with an IP scheme of 192.168.1.120, I think, but my wireless is also connected, and I'm connected to a different IP, and I can access both. The internet that this is on, this switch isn't connected to the internet, it's just standalone just for this, but I can also access the internet and the network camera off of both those cards. But anyways, alright, so go to Properties, IPv4, okay, if you're set to obtain automatically, check this box for use the following IP address. I'm just using 1.20. This is the IP I'm assigning to the laptop. The subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, and the default gateway, which I've just got set to the default camera IP address, 1.108. Alright, I've already got this set in here, so I'm just going to cancel out. Okay, so now I'm just going to leave this in the package. It's not going to be up very long at all. Connect up our camera and wait for, yep, okay, so we got an activity light. Should have power to it. Alright, now go to your browser, type in the IP 192.168.1.108. That's the IP to the camera. Alright, so it took a minute to come in there. Alright, allow. This is for the inside so you can see the stream view. And the password for the Clearview is username admin. Password is also admin. Alright, so since it's the first time it's plugged in, it wants to change the username and password. I'm just going to put the same thing in there right now, admin. Alright, so we've got our stream on the camera. If your picture isn't working, you'll see something in here that says download a plugin. So I found that Internet Explorer works best for these cameras. And you download this plugin, let it install, give it just a minute, close out your browser, open it back up, go back to the IP address, and follow your little things up here for the pop-ups to allow the add-ons. Go ahead and allow it to run, and then I think you'll have to hit allow twice on another prompt that comes up. That's to get your stream going. If you're not worried about the stream, then you could just go on into the setup. So now what we're going to do is go to the network, TCP IP. Now obviously we can't run all of our IP cameras on 192.168.1.108, so we have to assign each camera an IP address right here. And we're going to reassign it to .1.110. Alright, you can change these DNS down here to match yours. And I chose to do static address over here. That way we know the IP to this camera. Alright, and once you get your IP, save it. And it looks like it automatically redirected it to the new IP, so that's cool. And here's that pop-up that comes up. Click allow. Come on. Alright. So we got this IP set up. Alrighty. Now here's your ports, your HTTP ports. This is probably what you want to open up on some systems, or the HTTPS, and you need to open these ports up in your router. So for this particular setup, these cameras aren't going on a system that is connected to the internet, although it's still a PoE IP system. It's not going to be connected to the internet, so I'm not going to worry about any of that stuff right now. But if you was connected to the internet, just say like the single camera, you can go to use some dynamic DNS service to give you like a web address to connect to it with, which is pretty cool. Alright, so that's the basic setup for just a single camera. Just get it online, change the IP address so you can get multiple cameras up and going. Of course, you can also do it from the DVR and handle it that way as well. But I prefer to do it this way. Alright, so now just continue on. I got my next camera hooked up, and I'm going to set the IP on that one to the next one, .1.110 or .1.111. There we go. So for this one, for now, I'm just going to open up a new tab here. And like I said, you have to go to the default, which is .1.108. Alright, so I got 3 of them hooked up now. You can see the lights blinking here, here, so I got this one set at 110, 111, 112. This way it can just be put up and go, and then just pointed. You can basically plug them in, connect to the Wi-Fi on the network after you've got DVR set up, and connect with your phone, and then all you got to do is aim it. Now, if you're not using a DVR and you're just using IP cameras or recording software or something, then this would definitely be an idea to set up with the PoE switch and the cameras. Alright, well, hopefully this is useful to somebody, and thanks for watching.